and how he was gonna sound. Next up to Benny. Not that J. Cole can rap, that's not what I'm saying. Like you said, that pairing, because I knew what Benny was gonna do. But
did we know what Benny was gonna do though?
Yeah. Because Benny over Alchemist and some of the other guys that he worked with, I think is different than working with than the Burden of Proof. Dead End Hip Hop album review. Nick Grant, welcome to Loveland. Before we get into the review, make sure you guys go check out the Patreon, patreon.com/deadendhiphop. We are rolling out some updated tiers. It's been a minute since we've done that, so be on the lookout for that. Also, subscribe and hit that thumbs up button on this video as well. And check out some of our other shows. Is the Myke still on? Dead End Sports, Dead End Gaming, and Hold It Down podcast, and definitely Dead End Sports, man. We're doing a 365 video every day on that channel, so it's been fun. Nick Grant is a guy that actually we talked about on the last review we did, A Room Full of Mirrors, the Moneybags EP. And he just dropped a new album this year called Welcome to Loveland. Nick Grant is a rapper from South Carolina. I felt like if Shelter was on the show, he would be the first to point that out. Because
you're right,
bro. Anybody from South Carolina, he will let you know. And apparently Jalen too. Chris Platty, check out his podcast, Chris Platty, Hoop Talk and B-Ball Talk. He actually sent this over to me as well. But I, as we discussed on the last EP, I've been familiar with Nick Grant's work before and have loved what he's done. But this was different. This was definitely what I didn't expect him to do, to go into a more of a thematic type of approach with an album with a lot of funk and soul. When I pressed play, I didn't know who I was listening to, because this is so different from a lot of the other stuff that he's done, like Dreaming Out Loud and Return of the Cool.
God bless the child. Yeah.
Yep. Carolina Diaries, which I think Feefo and we did that for 365 last year.
That came out late last year, didn't it?
Yeah. Nick Grant could always rap. I don't think it was ever, when it comes to me, like a question of his ability. But this is the first time where I felt like he's diving into like the creativity and being artistic and stuff like that, and taking his ability to rap and create good songs there and kind of expanding and expounding on that. And I thought he did well. I was really pleasantly surprised with what I heard. Like when Ass Funk Deezy came on, then it rolled into Cupid Is a Woman, all the way to the Simulation with Malaya. Oh, I like her voice. She was good. All the way to the end, man, with Rakaya, Keon's Harold on Gangsta Lean. So I think he did a good job of kind of giving you some funk, soulful shit, and on occasion kind of bringing it back a little bit with like Gangsta Lean and give you something kind of in the middle of the road. I actually really loved this album and enjoyed listening to this. And I think what I like also is that it's like 32 minutes long, so it hits a sweet spot, for me. So the replay value is high, but I like this type of music. I like this type of sound, so it's definitely going to appeal to me, maybe a lot more than everybody else. But I'm curious, what do y'all think?
I wasn't expecting this. Like you said, I had heard a couple Nick Grant tracks before, and I also heard him on Moneybags. So this one just kind of took me aback when I first played it, and I was just like, oh man, I don't know if this is what I want from him. I think it was just undeniable the way he executed this project and the way he sounds on it. And I didn't even know that was him. Like I'm like, damn, this is him saying that like that, because it sounds really good. Like it sounds really good. I like the theme too, but it definitely took me quite a few listens before I actually got somewhere where you are with it. Because I actually do enjoy it now. But yeah, I definitely did enjoy it the first time first time I listened to it. I was just like, nah, this isn't what I wanted. To the point where I went back and listened to like 3 of his projects. I was like, I wonder if he has this kind of thing going on with his project, and he doesn't. Like, so I went, like, for instance, God Bless the Child. Is that the one? That's what it's called?
That's the one, yeah.
EP?
Yeah, with
Tay Beats.
Yeah, that one was really, I really liked that Nick Grant or whatever, because it was just him just flowing, and that's what I liked about him on the Moneybags joint. It took a minute for me to adjust to what he tried to go for here, and like it hit me when I got to Cats and Dogs. I was like, oh man, he's creating like a Love Below. That's what it kind of sounds like to me. He's going with like a Love Below type sound, yeah. And he kind of sounded like Andre's 3 Stacks on that song Cats and Dogs, the way he was flowing. And I kind of heard it in his voice a little bit too. So I don't know if somebody had told him he sounds like Andre and maybe he was influenced and made something similar. It had hints of that with hints of Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly. With some of the way that the distorted voice and
that, and the way how like the vocals was layered on hooks and stuff kind of definitely remind me of some of like,
and the funk.
The funk kind of remind me of To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah, the funk that To Pimp a Butterfly had. So it's like a combination of the Love Below and To Pimp a Butterfly. When I listen to it, it's like his version of those things. So yeah, I think for the most part, it's pretty solid. It's just not. I still don't think this is what I want from Nick Grant. I want that like mostly what he did on that EP versus this. But I definitely think this is good. I definitely think that this was a well executed project, in my opinion.
I'm with Ken. I think I like this album more so. I can't believe I'm about to say this. I think I like this album more so for the production and the funk of it, more so than the rapping, just because I think Nick was going for like a theme as far as the rapping and the song structure that he was going for. Like you, Rod, I do like the the God Bless Child joints, all the other projects he released before. But I'm glad he's trying something different. He's veering out, doing something different, and having a theme kind of circle around. I guess it seems like his love for women, his love for black women, his love for women, whether it comes in relationships, sex, communication. Like I'm glad he kind of touched on all that, because I know with people always complain about rappers having, content about killing and murdering and stuff. Like he's dedicating an album about like women, about his appreciation for women, whether if it's positive or negative. You know what I'm saying? So I can appreciate that. But just the production alone, I think I loved a lot of these beats, man. I still don't know who produced majority of this, but man, I love the beats on this, man. Like everything from Cats and Dogs, Cupid Is a Woman, The Simulation, Love and Other Drugs. I like that. I never heard of her before though. Rakaya.
Yeah,
she's dope.
She's new to me.
Certain notes she was hitting, Ken, it was kind of reminding me of Layla Hathaway. Certain notes she was hitting, I was like, okay, yeah, I dig her. I need to check her work out, see if she got any projects out. But he did what he did well. I mean, he executed it well. It was something out of the norm that I'm used to. So I don't want to really too much ding him for that, because I mean he did a good job of executing that. But yeah, I will say the production definitely kept my attention a lot throughout this project, more so because then, like you said, right, and I was like, I hope I ain't the only one that's hearing this. The way the vocals was layered in some of these hooks, I'm like, damn, this shit definitely give me some fucking To Pimp a Butterfly type of vibes, you know what I'm saying? So I can definitely hear that inspiration. But yeah, I think for the most part, the production is what I'm happy about on this. I'm glad Nick Grant did something different, but and then it's almost like Myke on when we did A Room Full of Mirrors. It's like, yes, you hear something there, but it's like, I don't know if this might be something I return to. If it is, it'd just be for the beats only. But I don't know if this would be like a replay value project for me. Even though as much as I enjoyed it, listened to it, if I want to listen to Nick Grant, I'm saying, I'm gonna go back to, Dreaming Out Loud and God Bless the Child EP and stuff like that. So yeah,
I didn't think it had replay at first, but yeah, I definitely can see myself replaying some of this.
Clean your house with this, B. On that Saturday morning, put this shit on.
Yeah, I mean, because the beats on here, man, and the production on here is A1. So I definitely appreciate the production on here. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think I'm on an island with this one. This one didn't do it for me. And I said on the Room Full of Mirrors review that I was not familiar with Nick Grant's music, but he was the standout on that EP. Like he was really laying down some bars. This was gonna be my very first Nick Grant full project. So when I walked into it, I was just like, okay, he's got Anderson .Paak on here, cool. And then it was like the next song, I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's him. And then it was like the next song. I was like, wait, is this the same guy? Like, what's going on here? I have to be honest. I don't think his execution was poor, but I think a lot of this came across as samey, and the stuff that didn't come off as samey, it sounded like 3 Stacks. It didn't really interest me because I didn't get that from A Room Full of Mirrors. 3 Stacks didn't even pop in my head on those verses. I was really like, damn, this Nick Grant dude is fucking dope. He sounds great. On this, I'm just like, okay, he sounds like, 3 Stacks and Jid and Anderson .Paak. I wasn't really into this like y'all were. I mean, I think his flow is still nice. I still think he's a great rapper. Like on Spell Check, I thought his flow was fucking dope. The way he was laying his rhyme pattern was really nice. And he had a couple bars here and there that I thought were good. The bar about I don't remember the exact line, but something like she's so seasoned, but she's moving salty, something like that. I was like, okay, that was a cool bar. Yeah, even the songs that I actually really liked, like The Ingredient. I liked that song, but I was like, it sounds a lot like 3 Stacks. Honestly, this was another situation, like I said with Room Full of Mirrors, where I put it on. It's not necessarily bad, but I know I'm not going to return to it. I am, however, going to go listen to his older stuff because everyone's saying that was what he was doing with Room Full of Mirrors.
I think your introduction to Nick Grant is not the best.
Yeah.
I think you need to listen to Bless the Child EP and Dreaming Out Loud. I think those are projects I think you enjoy.
Yeah, that God Bless the Child is like only 15 minutes, but it's 15 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Like
Just bars.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check it out because once again, I really liked him on Room Full of Mirrors. But yeah, this one just could be a personal thing. I do like funk music and I like when rappers rap over funk, but it was just like song after song. I was just like, I'm not getting sucked in. I'm not getting any diversity. I just feel like I'm getting a lot of the same type of thing here. I guess if you really, really, really love this particular sound, then this album is for you. But I need a little bit of something different for me to actually be intrigued. And unfortunately, this just didn't give it just didn't give it to me.
When I listened to it and when we decided to review it, I was like, man, I hope Myke went back and listened to some of his old stuff. Man, this won't be like the first album because I don't think it fully illustrates like the type of artist it is. I think this is him like, I want to experiment and do something a little bit different.
That's all it is.
I think that's what helped me because it's like, damn, he's able to do this too. Like that's, I guess, like that's why I end up with it. You know what I'm saying? After listening to it so many times, I was just like, damn, I guess this is kind of dope that he decided to take this route and able to do it well. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, this dude is talented as hell.
To your point, Rod, I was like, not once did I hear that he can do this type of music or this type of sound, whether it is borrowing from other artists, because I hear those things as well. To kind of craft it, but I didn't know he had it in him. And when Feefo and I was talking, I was like, man, I think Nick Grant, man, I think he's got nets. He's next up. And Feefo was like, nah, man, I don't think so. Mainly because he was doing like a lot of the traditional rappity rap type stuff. And to a certain degree, I think to kind of break out of that, you have to be a little bit more accessible and more creative in order to reach more people, more ears. Yeah. And I think if he can find a way to kind of blend it all together into a total package where he can pull the Dreaming Out Louds and the God Bless the Child and merge that with this, he could probably go somewhere with this. Because I think, when I went on his Twitter, because I wanted to know, like, why did you deviate from what you were doing before? I can't find any interviews. I can't find anything. I don't even know who the producers are. I was hoping you may have found out.
I was just like, man, who's doing the beats for this? But I couldn't find it.
It is a drastic change for him, and I can't find anything. So I'll be curious. Hopefully there'll be some interviews or something, or just hit me up, bro. Let me know if you watch this. But nevertheless, when I was looking on his Twitter account, of course, a lot of people are liking it. I think Nick Grant has an audience that like the old Nick Grant, they seem to be resonating with this. And this new sound can also pull in potentially new listeners because they may like this a little bit more because of the funk and the soul or whatever, the similarities to Kendrick and 3 Stacks or whatever. And we're like, oh, this is dope. Let me go listen to this other stuff. And then he can kind of expand and build his audience for that. I don't know. It's a lot of conjecture, but, it's just kind of my analysis on, where this could go from here. But like I said, I like the sound a lot. So you know, when Myke said that, is applies perfectly to me because I was like, this right up my alley.
Yeah, I don't want it to sound like I'm saying it's whack that he's borrowing from 3 Stacks. Everyone borrows from 3 Stacks. I didn't want it to sound like I'm just like, oh, he's just a biter. Nah, that's not what I'm saying. It's just a matter of, and I know that's not what you were saying either, but just when I put this on and I keep thinking of 3 Stacks, all it made me want to do is go listen to 3 Stacks. This didn't suck me in enough for me to be like, oh, he's borrowing from 3 Stacks and he's really doing that style extremely well. I'm gonna stick around. I think the issue is if I had listened to his other projects and been acclimated to him as being that type of rapper, him deviating for a hot minute would actually be cool, like y'all are seeing it. That's partly my fault for being a novice listener to his music. Because I mean, Brother Ali did something like that where he did Bite Marked Heart, and I was like, oh, this is cool. But I can imagine if I walked into Brother Ali's catalog, I'd be like,
What?
the fuck is all this love shit? I don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
It's cool when artists do things that are a little bit different, but it's just awkward when someone like me walks in off the street and it's just like, oh, this is not what I was expecting.
Especially after a room full of mirrors.
Yeah, where he was
Or-
you know, and I didn't really hear a whole bunch of that on here. I heard
it's not-
baby.
Yeah, we're like,
Right, you know? I'm glad everybody likes it. I am definitely gonna go back to his other stuff though. And maybe I'll return to this afterwards and it might hit me better, you know.
God Bless the Child for me personally.
Okay.
That's the one I think you should.
Yeah, I
go
mean
to
it's a little newer because Dreaming Out Loud came out in 2018, and God Bless Child came out in 2020.
And see, I believe Dreaming Out Loud got some couple skippables on it.
I like it, but it's kind of a weird album in terms of like features.
Yeah.
Because you got
Yeah, 'cause
Khaled
Yo
on there,
Gotti.
Yo Gotti
Yo
on there.
Gotti on
and
there,
then, yeah, and then the guy he worked with, DEHH, is on there. So it's like, oh, which way you going, bro? Like,
God Bless the Child.
Okay.
15 minutes long. Man, I'm telling you,
I'll check it out.
no skippables.
Carolina Diaries is good too. It's like 11
I hadn't
minutes.
heard that one. Yeah. I hadn't heard
That last song, Automatic, is good, and that intro track is really good too. But yeah, it's like 11 minutes. You know, it's just straight fire.
See, I thought Carolina Diaries was a single.
Nah. Apple would do that where they'll label like some projects with like 3 song singles.
Oh yeah, because this is just 4 songs. This is an EP 2.
Yeah.
That God Bless the Child. Like I said, it's 15 minutes EP.
Nice and quick.
Man, nice and quick. He gets to it on that.
Yeah,
You'll see.
Produced by Tay Beast.
And then
I'll check it out. I'll definitely check that one out.
oh, Tay Beast, that dude. I know who
Yeah,
you're
from
talking about.
TD producer.
Oh,
Yeah, TD producer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit dope.
Yeah.
That shit is dope. And then Return of the Cool, that's the other one I listened to. I don't know if y'all heard that one.
Yeah,
Yep,
they came out,
yep.
I think 16 or 17.
17.
Yeah. So that one's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's cool. But I definitely would recommend God Bless the Child.
Favorite tracks now. So give me The Simulation, Cats and Dogs, As Funk, Deeziac, Brutal Honesty.
I'm with you on that Simulation, man. That Simulation is so good. So give me that one. I'm with Myke on Spell Check. Spell Check, he did some cool stuff on there. Cats and Dogs, Loving Other Drugs. Karakia killed it on that. Or Kaya, how you spell it? And I think Zombies. I think I like Zombies. Yeah.
Give me Love and Other Drugs. Give me Zombies, Stimulation, The Ingredient, and did I say Cats and Dogs?
No.
Cats and Dogs.
I'm gonna go Cats and Dogs, Spell Check, and The Ingredient.
Nick Grant, if you're watching, yeah, man, I think this is a really good album, man. Actually, I would lean into great for me. I really enjoyed the production a lot, the different style that you went with, just the creativity. I think is dope because I honestly didn't even know that you had this in you. I knew that you can rap and rap really, really fucking well. But I didn't know that there was another side to you. And I think this is dope that you can kind of tap into that and create something, theme based. I think that just opens up, more lanes for you, honestly. And you don't have to sacrifice like the integrity of who you are. And I think that that's important. And not necessarily just trying something because, everybody's doing it, but trying something because, it's an area and a way that you go. So sonically is great. I like the content as well. And, I'm really curious to see where things go for you from here? Because I definitely feel now more than ever that the future can definitely be bright for you. So we'll see. So, but good album.
Nick Grant, if you're watching, yeah, man, I think you nailed this, man. I wasn't quite sure when I played it the first couple times, because it's, like I said, it caught me off guard, based on the other stuff that I had heard from you. But once I listened to the other music and then sat with this, I was like, you know what, this is actually pretty dope that he was able to, do this one-off thing, theme-based album. And yeah, man, I think you absolutely nailed it. I'm still processing whether I still want that, the God Bless the Child You, because I think I did enjoy that one a little bit more. But I definitely, this one has replay value because of the type of sound it has. It's just like Ken said, you can play it in the house while you're cleaning. It's just real mellow and funky, man. And like I said again, I think you nailed it. I think it was a combination of 3 Stacks and Kendrick, and I think you made it your own thing with those elements. This also kind of reminds me of the Tyler Igor. It took me a minute to really like that project too, because I wanted a rapping Tyler, but that's really like one of my favorite Tyler projects right now, where he just kind of, just vibing out, singing, stuff like that on that album. So I think it's the same thing with this. So yeah, man, with that said, I think you did a really good job on it. I think you're a hella talented artist. And yeah, man, keep pushing, keep doing and creating music, bro, because you're very talented, bro.
Yes, Nick Grant, if you're watching, even though I'm more of a fan of your previous projects more so than this one, I'm glad you stepped out the box a little bit and created something different. Just the way you create your songs on this, the way you did your hooks and everything on this. And then you had a great ear for beats on this album. That's one thing I personally really appreciated. I don't know if this is gonna be like really a high replay value for me. But I just like the fact that you just did something different. Like we've all said this before, like you're definitely a talented, a dope MC. So that's the one thing I really appreciate. And the fact that you had a theme, you stuck with it, and you did it. You know what I'm saying? So, but for that, yeah, good job. Like I said, I don't know if this is gonna be high on my list as far as replay, but I'm still looking forward to whatever you're doing as far as any upcoming projects you got going. I'm still checking them out. So keep it up.
Nick Grant, as a new listener to your music, I like what you're doing. I understand why you would want to diversify yourself, though. I guess it's just with me, I didn't get a chance to know what you were doing before you diversified. It sounds like this is working for you, and it sounds like people are enjoying it. So that's great. I'm definitely going to go back and listen to some of your other stuff. I think you're a great rapper from what I heard on the Room Full of Mirrors. Again, this one didn't necessarily sit with me that well, but after I go through your other stuff, I'll come back to it and see if it makes a difference. But yeah, either way, do your thing. Congrats on the success, and I hope everything works out for you.